and I'm a little embarrassed to tell the story, but a few of you have probably heard it by now, and so I just tell you a little bit of the story, my experience with waiting, because it relates. It relates. Maybe about a month ago, a little over, where I'm backstage in the green room. I'm preparing to come out to speak. I think it was actually after this service, and I was drinking my ninth Diet Coke for the day because I was getting strung out, and I got a message on my BlackBerry. It buzzed, and I looked at it, and it said I had a new Twitter follower, and it just so happened, this was weird, it just so happened that the Twitter follower was none other than little Justin Bieber. Okay, one of you know who Justin is. Everybody else is like, you live in a cave. All right. So, Justin Bieber is following me on Twitter. I'm thinking, yeah, this is a joke. This is a hoax. This is not. No, you're thinking that right now too. You're like, there's no way Justin Bieber's following you on Twitter. I thought that too. But then by the time the service ended, I go back and my inbox is lit up with tons of new Twitter followers, all of which are Justin Bieber fans who are now also following, most of which are young teenage girls. Which was weird in and of itself. All right, so I'm thinking, this is funny, ha ha ha, this is a big joke, whatever. So, yeah, I kind of go through the week not thinking much about it. And toward the end of the week, I get, this is where it gets really odd. I get this email. You're not going to believe this, but I get this email. This is what the email says. I'll just read it to you. Dear Reverend / Pastor / Father Hodges. I hope this email finds you well. My name is Susan Costello. I am the personal social networking assistant for Justin Bieber. As you know, Justin recently began following you on Twitter and has an exciting upcoming opportunity that he would like for you to be a part of. You should expect a phone call from Mark James, Justin's personal performance assistant, in the next week to discuss this further. Apparently Justin has a lot of assistants. Thanks for all you're doing to make a positive difference. Keep up the good work. Sincerely, Susan Costello, personal social networking assistant to Justin Bieber. Okay, so I go out to my assistant Larry, and I'm like playing it cool. I've got my poker face on. I'm like, this is no big deal. I say, Larry, this is probably a big joke. This is a big hoax. Down deep inside, I'm hoping it's true, but I'm like, this is probably not true. This is probably a big joke. But if by chance a guy by the name of Mark James calls, come find me. Like, don't put him to voicemail. Don't just take a message. Like, if he calls, even if I'm in a meeting, this is a guy I want to talk to. And Larry's like, okay. And then I just said under my breath as I turned and walked away, I said, Mark James is the personal assistant to Justin Bieber. I said it like that. And literally, it was like I was wiretapped because everybody in the office, like all of our staff, poured out, and they're like, what? Huh? What about Justin Bieber? Huh? And they start screaming, yelling, and they're excited, and I'm like, no. You don't understand. This is like not a big deal. This isn't really going to happen. This is like a hoax. Somebody's playing a trick on us. Like, I hope it's true, but it's not, and like, no big deal. So we go on about our business, and then I get a phone call from Mark James. Okay, wait. You ain't heard the rest of the story. Don't get all excited yet. It gets better. Whew. So Mark James calls, and I'll just make the long story a little longer, okay? This is how it all went down. There are these girls in our church who are obsessed with Justin Bieber. And a while back, they went to his concert, and when they were there, they bought me a t-shirt, a Justin Bieber t-shirt. And then they came back on the Sunday after the concert, and they begged me to wear the t-shirt. So I didn't want to disappoint, all right? So I put the t-shirt on, only it was like 2 sizes too small. And so I couldn't wear it on stage to preach, thank God. But I did post picture, which actually I think we have the picture. Yeah, here it is. This is me. I make Justin Bieber look really good. And so we posed for the picture. Then this picture got circulated on Facebook, and it ended up on Justin Bieber's fan page where it got marked for him to note. And so he saw it. He thought it was funny that the preacher was posing with Justin Bieber's t-shirt on, and so he started following me on Twitter. That's how that went down. And then after following me on Twitter, I talked so much about Water's Edge that he went to Water's Edge, and he actually watched us online, and apparently he liked what he saw. Now, Mark James tells me that what Justin Bieber does is that before every concert, he brings in a pastor that he likes to do a devotional for he and his entire crew. And so Mark James tells me that that what's going to happen next is that if I'm interested, Justin would like for me to come and do that. He's got a sold-out crowd tomorrow night, December 6th, in New York City, and that they'll fly me to New York City where I'll actually get to bring people with me, and I'll do the devotion for Justin Bieber and his entire crew, and that. And he says, listen, the way that's going to go down is that Justin's really hands-on with that part of the show. And so you got to wait. Justin's going to call you. After Justin calls you, you guys talk about the details. Tell him what you're going to say. Like, tell him a little bit about yourself. And then I'll call you back, and we'll set up all the flight arrangements and get you all the tickets and everything you need. So it's like a pretty big, exciting time around our office and around our house. And it's been really kind of funny because we've been waiting on this phone call from Justin Bieber, and so after I get off the phone with Mark James, I'm like, pull everybody together. I'm like, guys, we gotta play this cool now, all right? Because if he calls, I don't want anybody screaming or freaking out. We gotta act like this is normal. This is what we do. We do devotionals for celebrities, all right? This is how we roll. This is what we do. So I'm like, y'all just gotta play it cool. And when he could don't use the phone, don't answer the phone. Don't tie up the lines. We're going to wait for Justin Bieber to call. So literally the last 2 weeks, productivity around our office has tanked, all right? If you've called, had a need or something, tough. Because we've just been waiting for Justin Bieber. And so it's been a really big deal. We've been waiting for him to call, and we've been excited about it. And we've been planning it all out. And every time the phone rings, everybody pokes their head out, and they're like, is that him? And it's just on edge, just preparing for it, thinking about it. And I know what I'm going to say, and I know what I'm going to wear, and it ain't a sweater vest, I can tell you that. And we've been pumping it up at home with our kids. I told the girls, oh my gosh, because I've got 2 girls, and they're like, Justin Bieber, and they're going to go with me to New York City tomorrow night. And they've been telling all their friends at school, and they're this is a really, really big deal. And it's been keeping me up at night. I've been losing sleep and been thinking about it and excited about it and been waiting, and yet he hasn't called. I mean, the phones rang, but it hadn't been him. And the emails have come in, but they hadn't been from him. And the Twitter replies have been happening, and they've been from teenage girls, not from him. It's been silent. We were excited. But it's been silent. The whole staff was rallied around me. And it was perfectly planned. I mean, I had every leg of that trip planned out, just like I'd planned to pull your leg with this whole entire story, and you fell for it. Y'all should know better. Justin Bieber ain't calling me. Good gosh. I thought that was fun at 8:20, but y'all are so much more fun. That was awesome. That would be pretty cool if it was true. I know I got way too much time on my hands. Just dreaming about Justin Bieber. Baby, 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 oh. Not true. Justin Bieber did follow me on Twitter for a couple days. Now, I don't know if it was the real him or not, but literally somebody did start following me on Twitch, is where the whole idea for this whole story came up out of. And then you see how my mind works. It's twisted. It's twisted. Now, come on, be honest. How many of you were with me in the story? You were like, you'd bought it. Yeah. Especially when I told the part about the girls, right? You're like, oh, he told his girls. Oh. And then, like, the silence hurts. I mean, like, when I said he didn't call, like, some people just, you wanted to cry. Because you felt the pain, right? You felt the pain of silence. And that's the point. Silence hurts. Silence while you wait, it hurts. Silence while you wait builds frustration. Silence while you wait even builds bitterness. Silence while you wait makes you doubt. It makes you anxious. It makes you worried. And while my story of waiting with silence is nothing but a big fat joke, some of you, silence today is not a joking matter, is it? Because it has messed your life up. Some of you have spent a lifetime waiting. Some of you are sitting with silence. Some of you are hurting because of silence. Some of you have stopped believing. You've stopped hoping. You've stopped caring because of silence. Some of you are bitter because of silence in your life. I'm talking to somebody today who is waiting on their knight in shining armor to ride in on a white horse. And you have prayed, and you have waited, and you have been faithful, and you've been wearing makeup. You've shaved your legs. You were like, I want the man. But God is silent. Some of you have been working extra hard. You've been putting in overtime. You've been doing everything the boss asked, plus some, for that promotion. But God's silent. So some of you have been just begging God, hoping, waiting that your husband would change his mind about the divorce. But God is silent. Some of you have been waiting for your mom to get well. That's your only Christmas wish. That your mom would be healed of cancer, would be home for the holidays, and God seems silent. I know some parents of teenagers who are just waiting on their teenager to get it right, to get it together, to put the pieces of their life back together, to act responsible, and God's